back. Am I back? Yes, I think I'm back. Can you hear me okay? Hooray! Hi Seb. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I said I was going to do Tourist Trap, didn't I? Oh, am I going to regret this? So I don't think I've ever done this quest, although I did a Beneath Ghost Tides earlier, and realised that I had in fact done Beneath Ghost Tides today, before, and somehow had forgotten about it. I think I completed it in dev, and I think I must have been like, oh, I've never done Beneath Ghost Tides. I should really go complete that, because I didn't play it when it was in development. And so I must have just gone and done it in dev, but I didn't have it unlocked on this account. So I can't have done it in live, but I wanted to do the giant oyster. Just closing the door. Right. What am I doing? Tourist trap. Oh god, my quest list is sorted incorrectly. Yes, I had to sort it by alphabetical because I couldn't find Beneath Coast Tides for some reason. I was scrolling up and down, I couldn't find it. Tourist trap. Oh god, what do I need? Desert shirt, desert robe, desert. Oh Christ almighty. 3 to 4 full water skins or an enchanted water. Yeah, there's coins. At least 1 bronze bar. Okay, well, so I mean, like, what I've learned from this point is I need all this stuff. Right, desert. I'm sure I have a desert robe. Yeah, water skins. I can never find water skins in my bank. Where are they? I should just search for them, but I feel like I should be able to recognise them by sight, but for some reason I can never find them. Tell you what, I'm going to bring my ore box as well. That's not my ore box, that's my soil box. What else did it say? F3 for general, right? Yeah. Desert shirt, desert robe, desert boots, water skins, feathers. Aesir asked, what do you think about the heat mechanic? I'm in 2 minds on the heat mechanic. On the one hand, you can say, well, it's hostile and complicated and annoying and fiddly, right? Which is true. But on the other hand, like, it's really good to have that sort of mechanic. I wish that we'd done something like that with Centistan in retrospect. What am I looking for? Feathers. Oh, they're on my crafting tab. Do I have any feathers? Yes. Red feathers? No, feathers. I bet it cares. How many did it say? I don't remember how many it said to bring. And then I've got a desert. Have I got desert boots? No, where would I get desert boots from? Let's just search. I was trying out the skilling outfits because I thought I should. My opinion on paper is that the skilling outfits are too complicated, so I wanted to try them out, and I don't feel like they are too complicated. Or at least, let me put it this way, I probably wouldn't design the skilling outfits this way, but I don't see a cause to like simplify them. If that makes sense, so I don't like it, and they're not like screaming out as an aspect of the game that needs to be changed. Unlike, say, the area task rewards, which do feel like they need simplifying. But the despite the fact that I've trivially got them, I guess because I'm a mod, then we must just get given them on our accounts. They're quite hard work to get. They're a complicated reward for a complicated investment that feels appropriate. Sorry, this is the elite skilling outfits, not the regular skilling outfits. The regular skilling outfits are like, at least they're not conceptually complicated, right? They're just fiddly to work with, right? What we're doing. Shantae will sell me some desert boots. Okay, cool. A bronze bar. Oh, I can't get a bronze bar. Oh wait, can I? Yes, I can get a bronze bar from here, can't I? Yes. No, I can't. I can't get a bronze bar from here. Oh no! I've written this down already as a bug. You can't withdraw bars from this version of the bank. No, hang on. You can. Sorry, I got that wrong. That's a 3rd version. That's really confusing. You can withdraw bars if you visit a furnace, or is it the other way around? Sorry, one of the two, out of the furnace and the anvil, you are able to withdraw bars from. Let me go and double check. Am I forgetting a different way of withdrawing bars? Yeah, I think it's like you can only withdraw bars from anvils and you can only withdraw ore from furnaces or something like that. And yeah, it doesn't. I've written that down. I mean, it's not a high priority issue because you can do it, but it is annoying. So I can't. Yeah, so I can't. I can withdraw ore from here, but I can't withdraw bars from here for some reason. But I can withdraw bars if I go around to the forge instead. Is that correct? Yeah, so I can withdraw one bronze bar. Okay, right, where are we going? Alcrid? Do I need gear for this? I imagine I probably do. I've just been dungeoneering. Yeah, sorry. So the thing about the desert heat mechanic is that we don't do anything with it, right? It exists. It's implicitly hostile. So like the problem with the desert is it's like a zone where there is lots of content, and it gives that content a cognitive load problem. Cognitive load is like the big issue, like problem. Going to the desert is implicitly more annoying and stressful. In a way, though, that's good for some audiences because it feels rewarding, right? Like mastering the desert and being comfortable with it and having your specific outfit that you wear or your specific preset that you use or whatever lets you feel a sense of mastery. Why did I come back to the bank? Put my magic gear back on. Should I put my melee gear on? It's alright. What am I missing? The pose with the two-handed sword on the Plague Doctor is really cool. Looks unique. Right, where am I going? Oh, no, I've got a cloak. What? Complete fail. Should use a preset, really, shouldn't I? I'm kind of engaging with systems as and when I feel like I have brain space for them, which feels quite realistic player behavior to me. So rather than doing everything optimally immediately as if as an expert at the game would, instead I am only like when I feel like I have enough brain space to engage with something new, I do that. Where am I actually going? I assume I was going here. Speak to Irina after going through Shantae Pass, yep. Shit, what was I saying? Can't remember now. Yeah, so yeah, like, what I wish we'd done with Sintistan, which is an advanced zone, which is like, it's kind of like it's not like just a place where we just dump content, it's like a specific advanced endgame zone. And I wish that we'd done something, it just didn't occur to me at the time. I wish we'd done something with like the shadow theme, making that into a mechanic, because it's a really good reward space. It's a really good, like, you can go to this environment, but it's hostile. So now we can allow you ways to mitigate that hostility, and we can give you better and better rewards until eventually we give you a thing that completely alleviates it. The chaplain said the system was supposed to be accessible. So I'm not sure if you're trolling me or being serious there, but there's like it's accessible in the sense that you can go there, but it's inaccessible. Sorry, it's inaccessible in that it is endgame content, but people who can do endgame content should be able to go and do it without having to complete 700 quests. Right, who am I talking to? You. Hello. I'm not going to read out the dialogue again. Oh, it's the Anna quest. Yes, of course. Why is she hanging out, crying on the wrong side of this wall? Like, she's clearly shedding moisture. This is a terrible place to stand. She should be standing just inside the wall. Is this interface a commitment to new gameplay, or do you really play like this? I have not really tweaked my interface very much at all. Like, I'm sort of like similarly sort of like I haven't looked up um, any advice on how to more coherently set up my interface in dev because we reset our accounts so much. Like, sorry, so a lot of people, devs who are advanced players, tend to copy their live accounts into dev, so they just repeat it. We have a command that allows you to make a copy of a game account, so they like create dev copies of their own account, so everything's set up exactly the same. I just reset a fresh account every time I need to do anything, and our accounts constantly break. So just an example of this, like whenever anyone does anything major in a dev stream, it breaks most of the items and most of the variables, so your account ends up in a completely broken state whenever anyone makes a major change. So you just have to reset your account constantly. So because of that, my interface keeps getting reset. So because of that, I've never spent the time to actually build a good interface. At the moment, it's functional. The main thing that is a concern for me thinking about the layout of my interface is that I can't, like, if I have like chats, I have social chats, and so in my live mod account, which is different to this account. So mods have a mod account when I get on my mod jack account, which is what that name refers to in the technical system. I have basically my interface is covered in chat menus, chat screens, so I can have friends chat open and clan chat open and so on. I'm not. It's interesting that people, because someone else commented on my interface and it's interesting. So I'm not significantly having any trouble with my interface. I made my minimap massively larger so that I could minimap click to things that were quite a long way away. And it's kind of annoying switching between my tabs. I stretched this open. I've been sort of playing with, whenever I want to look at something, it opens it automatically in here, and you then can't right click it to close it again. Although I guess you can do that. Yeah. So I've just been stretching this gradually wider and wider and wider as I keep opening more tabs, but I don't actually really want it that wide. And I would prefer, honestly, to have my inventory be 7 wide. But then there's not enough room to get all this stuff. But yeah, this is an optimization problem. This is an optimization. When I started streaming the other night, I had it like that, and that was annoying everyone apparently to the extent that someone on Discord posted a screenshot of it and said, "Cut that out." But yeah, what sort of things do you feel like my interface should have on it? I mean, because I look at my skills. I switch between my skills and my backpack a lot because I'm sort of in the early skilling stages. My skill levels matter a lot because they change a lot in a way that they just don't in the end game. Anyway, sorry, I'm going to get on the quest. I'll look for your daughter. I've had like 4 opportunities to say no. She's wearing a red silk scarf. What? Stop asking me if I want to do the quest. Okay, sure. So as usual, I'm going to be like, I'll try and do it, but I'm not going to persist very long before I reach for a walkthrough if it's weird. Came across some footprints leading to the desert mining camp. What? How am I doing for water skins? Not great. Unlevel windows, 9 wide inventory. Screen is big enough you could have 1 window. Let's just go to the desert mining camp then and see how they're doing. Am I using a guide or blind questing? I am blind, but I will immediately open a guide if I get stuck. So not very strict blind. Let's just go in. I didn't actually see any footprints. Am I supposed to be looking for footprints? This gate needs a key. I could murder these guys looking for a key. Ah, there's some footprints. Yes. Footprints heading off towards the south. No, well, it looks like they're turning here. Okay, let's just murder these guys and see if they've got a key. You seem like... What'd that say? Oh, I could just talk to this guy, I guess. Okay. Wow, a real captain. That's a good line. I like that. I'd love to work for a tough guy like you. Can't I do something for a strong captain like you? This is Titan dialogue, isn't it? He talked like that as well. Oh. Okay. Bring me the head of Ali Zaba Basim. Okay, sure. I mean, I could kill you and your friends first. That would work as well. I have a feeling Anna must be around here somewhere. I don't actually know if this is part of the quest or not. I guess let's just carry on and see what happens. This is a really bad quest as far as trying to do it blind. Glad RuneScape didn't pull the upgradable inventory thing. I mean, I feel like we kind of hack our way around it instead. I don't think. Alright, is there anyone I should be talking to in this? I mean, these guys seem more civilized than the last lot. Are these the correct bandits? No, they're to the south. Let's not kill these innocent people. I mean, in 2001 we just used GameFAQs. Like, it wasn't really any different. It's just there were less people writing the guides. You guys got a water source. Why does no one around here have a water source? Who was it I was looking for? Al something. Just talk to the barman. Nothing to say. Okay, so I mean, the captain did imply that what I ought to do is just kill everybody in the camp. But that sounds very tedious, and I don't think I'm going to do that. The leader doesn't live in the bar, which I guess is fair. Oh, let's find out what the shopkeeper has to sell. Oh, desert boots. I needed those, didn't I? I know that because it said so in the quest guide. Can I refill my water skin with a jug of water? Yes, it is the Plague Doctor walk. It looks pretty good with the two-handed sword. It looks, well, oh, I can't show. With a one-handed weapon, you sort of hold the weapon up behind your back, and with the two-handed melee weapon, you hold it in this sort of slightly weird fencer's pose. It's very strange. It's to our fate, we care nothing for the world that betrayed us, or those that came from it. Yeah. Well, I've tried literally everything. I can't find the guy whose name he mentioned, and it's not appearing in my quest journal, and I have no idea whether or not I'm even actually doing the quest. Like, that mercenary captain I talked to could have nothing to do with this quest. So I'm going to look it up. I've tried literally nothing, and none of it's worked. I'm in the wrong camp, am I? He said the desert bandits to the west, is what he said. Did he actually mean the Bedouins and not... So I went to the Bedouin camp, and then I looked at the map, and it said bandit camp to the south, so I went to the south. Titan. Is that him? Al-Shabim? Hey, buddy. Okay, I like that as a weird plot twist that the man I've been sent to look for doesn't exist. But I also find it a bit weird that I just have to go back and talk to the other guy again straight away. If I keep streaming and make it to Morning Zone Part 2. Yeah, we'll see how we get on. Well, how's my I'm doing quests largely in release order, so it's going to take me a while. If there are any particular quests, so like I was holding off doing Tourist Trap because someone said they wanted me to stream it. If there are any particular quests that people want to see, I don't think I can practically stream all of them, I just don't have the time. But if there's anything particular anyone wants to see, just message me on Discord or something and tell me. Yeah, obviously, that's what he told me to say. What? Oh, whoops. Sorry, I killed your friend. What? Well, I've got the key now. Could I have just killed him? I quite like if it could. Could I have just walked up, killed him, and got the key? Because that's great. Because I quite like that he sent me on a pointless side quest that didn't really mean anything. Like it's a kind of thing we don't do. Like RPGs have changed. Oh, what am I? Did I get caught and thrown in jail while I wasn't paying attention? It's kind of a whole concept of RPGs has changed as the quality of the content has improved. Like one of the so this is a total tangent. This is what I do, right? One of the interesting demonstrations of that is being able to skip a boss fight. Is the iconic example for me. Something that a lot of players want out of their RPGs. Did I mention my daughter, my 8-year-old daughter, was playing Baldur's Gate, and there was a boss fight that was really hard, and so she loaded and chose a different dialogue option, and it didn't skip the boss fight. So, and she was really frustrated about it. It was just a natural reaction to a boss fight that killed her that she wanted to skip. But so in older RPGs where the combat content was pretty terrible, the ability to skip a boss fight was a benefit. But in newer RPGs where the combat is kind of the focus of the mechanics and boss fights are supposed to be like the culmination, like people do, but like Elden Ring, the boss fights are the content. You wouldn't want to skip a boss fight in Elden Ring because that just is the game. And if you're skipping the boss fights, what are you even there for? So the RPG option to skip boss fights. So sorry, the point I'm making is this quest kind of. Sorry, I'm assuming this quest has an optional step, and the optional step is completely pointless and terrible. But because it's pointless and terrible, it's fine to skip it. If they'd invested time into making it really high quality, you wouldn't want to skip it. You wouldn't want to allow the player to skip it, because then they wouldn't experience the quality content, which is the whole thing that they're paying for in the first place. So it's a really difficult quandary that higher quality content means like less player control and less player choice, basically. I'm going to bend the bars. Yes, nailed it. Okay, I missed what captured me or why I got captured. Can I just kill everybody in here? What am I looking for? I'm supposed to be looking for Anna, aren't I? Can I just murder everyone in the whole place? These guys seem like baddies. The Bone Crusher was definitely a good investment. Like, it makes me feel so good every time. I've got a winch. Some iron rocks. Let's talk to the slaves. What was he? What? Oh man. Yeah, we need to put some more necro rocks in the game. That's my takeaway. I feel like I'm not allowed to add more necro rocks until I've got my smithing to 80. That feels like I don't want to be that guy who like plays through the early game and then fixes all the stuff he doesn't want to do. You know, that'd be awful. But I feel like once I've done it, I should fix it. Oh yeah, hang on. There is a winch. Okay, that'll be useful for escaping later. Yeah, we were talking about, C3DPO streaming sheepherder. We were talking about last time, yeah. He was like that. Yes, that was very much his personality. Might be able to sneak down if he passes a slave. Does that mean put on desert clothing? Oh yeah. What? Well, this is just like a perfect slave outfit. I guess I could murder one. Hey buddy, give me your clothes or swap. So I don't understand the conditions under which the guards spied me. So it's confusing me. That slave said he was going to try and escape. I feel like I have to keep killing the guards because if I don't, one of them will spot me and arrest me, which is a weird, weird situation. You see, yeah. Well, I've had a good go. To enter the camp, talk to the mercenary captain. You can talk to the mercenaries and bribe them with 5 coins. Compliment the captain and agree him. Before you enter, make sure to unequip any armor. Once you've entered, do not re-equip them or you'll be caught and thrown in jail. What? What? Is that what makes me not look like a slave? Is the fact that I'm wearing armor? I mean, it does sort of make sense. Sort of. Amulets and rings and weapons. Do I have enough inventory space? Just about. I'm imagining it doesn't count my aura slot. Dude, come on! I just took all my stuff off. What's wrong with you? Yeah, that's what we were talking about in the underground pass quest. Is that back in the day, people must have just brute forced it, and you can see that Dark Souls is designed to work that way, you know. Right, what's it tell me to do? Go to the building and search the table with a bowl on it, obviously. Talk to a male slave. What? I did this already. Uh, 'cause Oh, okay, I clicked the wrong dialogue option. I didn't click the random dialogue option that doesn't really say anything. There's a whole topic about dialogue graying there. Like, the puzzle... Sorry, I know I'm going to say can't, but obviously can't is incorrect. The puzzle can't... Like, sorry, there is a way to write dialogue which is incorrect, which is where the thing that moves the conversation along is a random line of dialogue which happens to prompt the next thing that the NPC says, but has no causal reason to do so from the player's point of view. So the correct line of dialogue is to just randomly say a thing, and the other one wasn't. Okay, yeah, he wants some desert clothes, which luckily I already have. When did they add thieving? Was that before RS2? Oh, sorry, yeah. Was it with RS2? Before RS2, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. And runecrafting came with RS2, right? Ironically. Was it? I mean, I've never played Classic at all. I've never even... even when we were still running Classic, I never loaded it up and tried it. Was it... Did you just have to pick up the runes in Lumbridge Castle? That'd be amazing. And, like, to get runes from the rune shop. Like, collect the free runes from the rune shop. Where am I going? Oh, I guess there wouldn't have been free runes. Yeah, okay. Well, could you buy them, though? Was there, like, a limited stock in the rune shop? What am I doing here? I mean, I could put my weapons back on and kill you. That seems like the kind of thing the game would want me to do. Let's do that. Nope. Dude, you're so dead. Talk to the one of the guards, tell him you'd like to mine in a different area. He wants a tenty pineapple. Okay, sure, hang on. Oh, because everyone's got a default attack op. What? Okay, sure. What? Classic Titan. Quest 3 kill slaves. Move along. Oh, he's the wrong kind of guard, I guess. Well, that's convenient. It's interesting, that whole right-clicking thing, right? But because you can see what he's going for. It's more of an adventure game feel, right? With, like, you have to investigate the area around you. I did something like that. What was it? I can't remember. Oh, yes, I spent a while, about 10, 12, 13 years ago, trying to make mobile RPGs. This was before... This was in the Java ME days, so it was absolutely horrific. And so I'd spent some time playing handheld JRPGs. Also, JRPGs that had been ported across to things like the DS. And there was an interesting problem when I started building Java ME RPGs that it was quite difficult to sorry, what am I trying to say? Like if there's an item on the floor, say there's like, then you have you basically have the RuneScape problem of like, if I want to stand on this square where this guard is, if I click, I'll attack the guard. I have to right click and move there, which is an awkward interaction on a touchscreen, which I guess RS Mobile kind of demonstrates through no fault of its own. It just is inherently an awkward problem. And so with a key mechanic in old 8 and 16-bit Nintendo RPGs is that you can examine the floor in front of you. Like if I think there might be a trap on the floor, I can stop and press A and check the floor in front of me to see if there's anything there. And with a touchscreen interface, like on a mobile game, you tap the floor to move there, and then you fall in the pit. And so it kind of lowers the amount of interaction. Sorry, what I'm trying to say is, like, yeah, I think what Titan's doing here is he's making the world richer. Like, you don't just click on thing and then click on thing and then click on thing and then click on thing. You have to, like, you have to think about the world around you and examine it and think about the logic of the way it's put together and what you do. You don't just click thing and perform most logical action. You have to think about what the logical action would be. So it does sort of make sense. But yeah, I think the execution is a bit odd. Right, where the hell? What's a tenty pineapple? Exit the mine and go to the Bedouin camp. Right. Why did the guard ask a slave to get something from outside the camp? What? 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 That's something I can't possibly get? Yeah, I've been talking about the examines things a bit Tuesday. It's the reason examines end up like that is because it's very much like a dev-specific thing. Like certain devs have that sort of sense of humor and attitude, and other devs don't. And so there's one specific thing that happened, is that it used to be that devs made environments. Like early in RuneScape's history, the artist would give them some assets, and the dev would build them into the environment. And yeah, I'd already been arrested and left the dungeon though, so I'm not going all the way back down there to talk to him. The environment artists now make the areas, and environment artists are people that think visually, so they write the configs and they map things down, and so they are the ones that write the descriptions for things, but they are, for the most part, I'm not criticizing the artists, their art is their art, right? Whereas the content devs, their art is usually their writing or their text. So now that it's the environment artists writing the descriptions, they're much plainer because they're generally not like wordsmiths and pun masters. So the dev then would have to specifically go in and change them all, and not all of our devs have that sense of humor or kind of attitude. And if so, like, we could prioritize it and say like, all updates must have funny examines, but depending on the dev that was assigned to the project, they may or may not actually be funny. We can't sort of we can't legislate or mandate humor, you know. It's very hard. So like Stu was on the recent fletching and firemaking thing, and so it had loads of that kind of stuff because Stu's great at that. And he would. So I can't remember the other dev's mod name. I know his real name, but the other dev that was working on that project, I'm sure Stu would want me to say, also contributed to that a lot and has a similar sort of sense of humour. Abe, yeah, mod Abe, also is good at that kind of thing, but not, you know, and Luma, who did Twilight of the Gods, is also good at that. But I'm not, for example. Like if I do something, it probably won't have fun examines. It's just not so. Like Gower Quest, I wrote most of Gower Quest, but it was Mod Maltair that did all of the examines throughout the quest. He went through and did like a polish pass. Because so GalaQuest ended up getting delayed by 2 months, and me and Maltair just had nothing to do for some reason because there was some weird problem with projects. So we were just sat there like, I guess we'll just do more GalaQuest then, and we just wrote more GalaQuest. And so he went through, and that's why that quest is so lavish and so polished, because we just had nothing to do for a while, and so we just mucked around putting stuff into that quest. So that quest has loads of examines, and those are Maltair's, not mine. Hi, Die Kick. I am Alstra Beam. Oh, hang on, we've done this right. I'm looking for a pineapple. Wait, so what was the dialogue option about tenties then? Kitty, that seems very important to you. Is it their racist way of referring to the, like, Bedouins? They call them tenties. That'd be my guess. Yeah! see, I'm inside Titan's head. The mining camp. Captain Siad. Yeah, hi Dikick. I'm trying to familiarize myself with the bits of RS that I'm not as familiar with, which includes sort of most of the mid-game and a lot of the older quests. I've played sort of random, like, I don't know, something like 50-75% of them, but a lot of them were like 10 years ago, and I've completely forgotten about. So I'm just trying to sort of refamiliarize myself with the game and get to know the bits of it I don't know so well. Where was it? Upstairs here. I thought you guys would be more, what's the right word? Like, JMod doesn't know RS very well, but like actually everyone's been really encouraging, which has been really nice. I'm just going to steal this from your chest in front of you. Ah, well done, you thought that. The slaves have broken free. Oh. Is there an alarm? I didn't notice an alarm. Didn't see anything. There's a fire. Yes, absolutely nailed it. Oh, thanks, Logic. Yeah, that's the thing, right? RS is so big that no one knows it encyclopedically. But I've been like the lore guy for quite a long time now, and I feel like I need to be more than that guy, you know? Oh, god damn it. What have I got equipped? I don't have anything equipped. Is he complaining about my slave armor or something? Or is he complaining? I just walked out in my slave robes last time. Is that... Wait, hang on. Oh yeah, okay, I got out this time. Fine, it's no problem. Oh, I'm certainly not the encyclopedic expert on lore. But as a developer, I am focused on lore, or have been focused on lore in the past. Yeah, Chaos is pretty good. Timbo's pretty good. We have devs who know aspects of the game in incredible depth. and we have but most J mods aren't experts in all aspects of the game. So the combat mods, for example, tend not to be lore players at all. Tuesday asked, "What's your view on game jams? Would you like to see them more often in the future?" Game jams are really complicated because the problem with game jams is people make stuff, and a lot of the stuff they make is great, but it's then very hard to actually ship into game because one of the principles of the game jam is that people don't have to do their jobs; they can do whatever they want, and so most of our QA, in fact, I don't think any of our QA want to QA on game jam. They want to do program something or design something or research something. So we don't have any QA during the game jam, which means what we have is a kind of like 10, 20 projects that are sort of half implemented and not QA'd. So they need to, they then have to be scheduled, like, you know, some of the work has been done, but what we have isn't something that we can just click a button and ship into game. And that's why some of these game jam projects then don't necessarily see the light of day, because they just get prioritized against everything else. And the fact that some of the work has been done doesn't necessarily make it the highest priority to put extra work into. That said, this last game jam, we did ask them to focus on small things that they either could complete within the time or wouldn't need much additional work to ship. So I'm a bit more optimistic that we might actually see some of that in game, compared to some of the older stuff, which is a bit more like prospective. Because like a mod can, say, design a quest, but if it then requires 3 months of dev time to actually make, it's going to be very hard to like actually prioritize that. Help us manufacture this. Sure, okay. I can see you have some feathers, a bar of bronze, and a hammer. There's an anvil. Okay, what is this? Plans for? Plans look very technical. Okay, sure. Sears Village rework. Yeah, Sears Village rework was a really sad one because it basically got sort of mostly done. And then between it being done and like the so let's use the metal on the anvil. Sure. Plans for what? Rip. God, where's the nearest bank? Back in Shanty Pass, I guess. Can I refill my water skins there? I seem to be able to. There's Tusker. Oh yeah. Wait, I've never climbed Tusker. I absolutely no involvement with Tusker at all. Refill water skins with a cactus. Hello. Yeah. Well, sure. Place like Sears Village would be very hard to squeeze in. Do you mean, sorry, do you mean physically, or do you mean, like, in terms of development time and resources? Well, see, now, okay, so, like, I know there's been some confusion over, like, what I mean when I say, like, the game is a bit too high fantasy right now, and maybe we could tone down the high fantasy. This is the kind of thing I mean. Where's the bank? Is one of these guys a bank? Hey, Garlandia, how you doing? Ah, there we go. The Mickey Mouse cacti water. Wait, I can't remember why I came to a bank now. Oh, to get... Oh, no, but I can't get bronze bars. Oh, for God's sake. I can't get bronze bars. It lied to me. The quest guide lied to me about what I would need. I can refill my water skins here. It's not just that it's the corpse of a dead god. I mean, there is an element of like the kind of fantasy I'm inclined to write, and this is the interesting problem. That's why I was quite frustrated with Chaos Elemental's thread about like, oh, Modjack hates this because blah blah blah, like he doesn't want to do it or something like that. They basically made it very personal, and the reason I find that a bit frustrating is it doesn't really have anything to do with what I want to write, if that makes sense. My job is to write what I want to write. My job is to write what RuneScape needs, which isn't the same thing at all. Given that inventory space is a little precious, I'm going to dump my cape and bowl. I think I'll keep everything else for now, though. I'm definitely not going to need more than 2 bronze bars, right? Definitely not. Is it what RuneScape needs, or is it what you think RuneScape needs? Yes, I mean, my job is to make that determination, right? Like, but my point is, it's not because it's the thing I want to work on. Because my the type of fantasy I write by instinct is, I mean, you can see, right? Like my first choice of lore, when I was sort of given freedom to write basically whatever I want, the first lore I wrote. So, I mean, technically the first lore I wrote was Gun Scramble, that doesn't really count, right? The first, proper, in-depth lore I wrote was Martial Art Memories, which is super high fantasy, right? That's not grounded and medieval. That's really hardcore as far as lore goes, right? You know, I talked about, investment in lore and skill ceiling on lore, and you know, Martial Art Memories is hardcore lore for hardcore lore players. It's not. It's just lore, right? It's just lore books. It's not like a quest or anything like that. But you know what I'm saying. And my own, the fantasy setting that I write, my own fantasy setting is very, very high magic. It's kind of like cyberpunk high magic kind of stuff, right? So very not grounded medieval fantasy. Wait, why did I go? Oh, yeah, I'm going by this way. In the case of RuneScape, what we have is there are people who quite rightfully say, I like the 6-age direction of lore, I like the wild, crazy characters, I like the, you know, like MPD, right, is iconic. Like MPD is, you know, you walk into a room full of crazy characters, everyone's a wild, unique character, everyone's got superpowers. There's a type of player who's super into that kind of thing, right? And that player would rather that RuneScape was extremely high fantasy. But then we end up on, when I say the difference between what I want or what I think the game, the reason I would argue that RuneScape can't do that is that it's a dart tip. Okay. Did it work? What? Oh, I attached 10 feathers to one dart. Mind you, I guess the dart was made of a whole bronze bar, so it's like some sort of giant dart. Is that it? Am I done? Sorry, I'll finish my thought later. Do you actually want the weapon? What? What? Sure. Okay. Let's go. Let's go back. What was I saying? I can't remember. Yeah. So we've got this hyperspacey RuneScape, and there's a version of RuneScape where that could exist, right? If the 6-age had launched with remodeling the entire world to be covered in, you know, soldiers, but it didn't happen, right? And we're not closer now, given the increased art budgets, art costs, and we're not closer now to being able to remodel RuneScape into a cyberpunk fantasy RuneScape or a hyper steampunk, gnome tech RuneScape, or all the various ideas of, like, you can imagine a version of RuneScape where one of the gods has taken over each town, and that town is completely redecorated in that god's colors, and maybe like there's maybe I can dream and imagine what the Sixth Age could have been, right? Like, what if every town could be controlled by every faction and therefore has a version of its decoration in that faction's colors, and the players fight over it weekly, and whoever wins, that, blah 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 blah, right? And none of this happened during the Sixth Age, when the art costs, the art quality was lower, and therefore the art costs were lower, and therefore it was even possible at the time. We can't do what that storyline requires, because the majority of RuneScape's world is medieval fantasy, except for like some dodgy old bits and some weird out of place bits like Tusker and Shattered Worlds. Delicious. Sure. Okay. I feel like I may as well not have bothered to bring my ore box. I was optimistic, but oh no, I need like 6 nechrite, so like I'll mine some nechrite when I'm here if I can find any. Is there any nechrite down here? I assume there is. Right, what am I doing now? I hope Tusker gets removed, it's so ugly. I'm not necessarily campaigning for its removal, but I would prefer not to add more things like that, right? Armadale's Tower, Tusker, arguably even like it depends how extreme you want to be, right? But like the Dom Tower, like these weird out of place elements. It's especially difficult with the draw distance and everything, I don't know. Like, I'm not, yeah, but so yeah. I think it's a fair question to ask, like, could I be wrong on it? I don't believe so, but I'm, I discuss it with people quite frequently, like I'm happy to have the discussion. But I haven't seen a case for, like, RuneScape works better as a high-powered fantasy space game. Yeah, Armadale's Tower really makes that area of the world seem very strange and cramped. It's like the witch's house is like in the shadow of Armadale's Tower. It's really strange. Sorry, someone else asked a question. DKEK asked, will there ever be a quest that involves every skill cape seller? And after quest they were the ones when I mean, generally we don't talk about upcoming content, so like I can't say answer one way or the other. I think as a concept for a piece of content, some sort of max quest, it wouldn't be like a lavish thing, but as like a fun little piece of content for a joke or like an anniversary celebration or something like that, I could imagine a piece of content like that existing, but it isn't something that would be part of the normal development of content. If there are any other questions, do feel free to ask. Right, what am I doing? I'm just wandering around this mine, right? Looking for nechrite. I mysteriously can't get through. Can't get through for no reason. Danger, not safe for humans. I mean, okay, sure. Yes, of course. What? It fell off. We're making an agility test. I'm Indiana Jones. Yeah, this is coming up in a lot in Underground Pass as well. Oh, I didn't read that dialogue. Oh well. There's my necrite, boys. Is that necrite? Wait, but can I not mine it? Oh, it's adamantite. Where's the necrite? Ah, there it is. There it is. Yeah, of course, necrite looks crazy. I remember. It needs a key. You look like you might have a key. No, don't have my sword out. Necrite is post-quest. What? What? Am I going to have words with Stu? What am I even doing down here? I'm just wandering about, I guess. I'm looking for Anna, right? Presumably she's here somewhere, but completely indistinguishable. There she is, Anna. Anna. It's a very varied mine they've got down here. It's technically the best necrite spot in the game for opportunities, but some other ways to not be worth it. Isn't the only other one... I mean, there's one in a resource dungeon that I can't access, and there's another one in the wilderness, so isn't this the only choice I have right now? It's one in the northeast desert. Oh. Oh, is it because there's only one rock by itself, so you can't get rock opportunities? What kind of surprise did you get? What? The conversation just stops for some reason. So we're just specifically rescuing her and we're leaving everyone else? Is that what's going on here? We're not going to kill any of the other guards? We're not going to kill the guards and rescue the slaves? We're just going to... She's very chipper. That one at least made me laugh. Oh wait, where's he put me? Oh, punishment rock. They could at least put me in the frickin' Necrite cave as punishment. God damn. Oh god, does this stuff stack? Is it gonna not stack? Because if so, this is gonna be... He's not gonna mind if I have my gear on, right? Oh, that didn't actually help very much, did it? They can just teleport out. Oh, then I have to run all the way back. Gotta do the... This is my stone spirit penance. Can I not put the rocks in my ore box? Yeah, this is the worst. I've had enough. Where's he? Definitely coming back to kill him. Oh, I need to. I'm not. I prefer the hero teleport to that one. I need to turn that one off. Guy who destroy all. Can we just not teach Anna, like... Can we not just give her a teletab? This, for reference, is why law doesn't matter, in that sense of, like, the game breaks instantly as soon as you do, like, you know, like... Because apparently I can just smuggle anything I like in there. So we could just give her a teletab. Areas load faster if you turn off loading screens. Night Tuesday. Oh, Stu renamed them to Punishment. That would have been Stu that renamed them to Punishment Rock. That's good. It's a good name. Update the quest so they confiscate your teletabs. Or we could update the quest so you could just give her a teletab, right? That would be consistent with the ethos of the old quests. But yeah, it's an interesting problem of quest design in general, that quest writers draw on conventional fantasy or other genre tropes to make their quests, right? And then a lot of those tropes break as soon as you start thinking about it, because like you know, I got asked with Broken Home a lot, like, why can't I just kill the monster? I kill abyssal demons all the time. Why can't I just kill the monster? Why do I have to not take my gear in? And there's no real good explanation for why you can't. Okay, I found a barrel. I'm guessing from the quest icon that that is going to be very relevant. Anna in the quest icon looks like Rebecca Chambers. I'm going to hatch it. Where did wood for the handle come from? Yeah, we did, one of the early things we did consider for the mining and smithing rework was the extent to which you ought to use other skills. That was actually a discussion that we had fairly seriously of, like, do you need to make, like, wrapping, you know, do you need, like, leather wraps for your sword hilt, and do you need, like, leather padding for your armor pieces and that kind of thing. And we decided fairly early on not to do it that way, because we wanted mining and smithing to have a pleasing, like, internally not consistent, what am I trying to say, like an internal economy between them that wasn't dependent on other skills. But wait, where's that punishment rock guy? Right, you. Revo plus plus. God damn it! He spotted me too fast. Oh man, this guy. Can I actually kill him? Is it just coincidence that I got spotted? So you guys haven't seen my other talk, have you? I really need to re-record that. I'll try and do it on Saturday if I can. The talk I gave a couple of years ago was about basically flaws in games are memorable. Basically, was the premise. Like, it's not the polished, smooth game. You have a great time and then you get on with your life. It's the getting teleported repeatedly to the punishment rock that I'm going to be telling people about. You know, I'm going to make it sound. I'm going to complain about how awful it is in a way that makes it sound super fun. And that's why people play games, right? If I tell someone, like, oh yeah, I played this game, it was really cool, I don't want to spoil anything about it, 'cause it's so amazing, you need to play it yourself. Like, I've told loads of people to play Soma. I don't think anyone's played Soma. Soma's amazing, people should play it. No one plays it. But if I tell people, like, oh, I had this crazy time because I went in the mine and and it was awful, and the guy threw me in and it was amazing, and now I've named my third child Punishment Rock, and I put like 7 references to Punishment Rocks in the game, and oh man, it was amazing. So bad, it was so bad that, you know, I'm talking about it constantly. It's more like any news is good news. How long before I click do not show me again? Which interface? There's a thin line between so bad it's good and so bad it's unfun. Well, this is definitely so bad it's unfun, but that's the thing. Even so bad it's unfun is like, it has a huge value when I enter the desert. Oh, yeah! Yeah, I didn't even notice. I'll have to try Punishment Rock with my kids. They'll probably quite like that. I think it was really fun. If I was like, bring me, like if I told them they had to bring me stones from the garden, they would love that because they love tracking in stones from the garden. It's a sequel to School of Rock with Jack Black. Set where he's been arrested. Oh, Stu, come on, Stu. He called it Punishment Rock. He didn't call it Jailhouse Rock. Come on, Stu. And Stu's probably watching this back on the replay. Stu, come on, come on. I'm gonna message you on Slack right now. What's the oldest content everyone still sees to this day, which never got changed? Isn't it the Black Knight Titan? I imagine. Like, it depends what you count. Visually, it's the oldest thing, right? Right. What am I even doing down here? I mean, I saw a barrel. Absolutely no idea. I've come all the way back down here again. I bet I have to do something on the surface or something, didn't I? I saw a barrel. Can I tell her to get in the barrel now? Which I'm pretty sure is what this quest is heading towards. Where's she gone? Oh, there she is. It's content that hasn't been updated since Runescape 2. I was supposed to be murdering the Punishment Rock God. I'm not dedicating my life to doing this. I'm not that kind of meme streamer. Hello again. Yes, I have. I have a plan. I think you should get in a barrel. I've thought of this through, and you should definitely get in a barrel. That is definitely the solution to this problem. Why don't you just come with me and get in the barrel, and then I will winch you up from the surface, and then we can leave. What is preventing us from doing that plan? Let's go look at the walkthrough. The cross when you click has never been changed. Oh, that little yellow click there? Yeah. We should update it to a little stone spirit. I don't have a barrel. No, I want her to walk with me to the barrel, which is within the mine, and thus part of the jail, and thus she has access to it. And there's nothing preventing us from doing that. Right-click search barrel on an empty barrel. Yes. Go Titan. Of course I have to search the barrel. Can't tell if my Titan praise is sarcastic or not. Well, it's both, I guess. And I was saying earlier, right? He was trying to build a more immersive game world. He was trying to build a world in which you think about the world around you and consider what you could do with the objects. So I see a barrel, I click the barrel, nothing happens. What else could I do with a barrel? Why don't I right click? I think the fact that it uses search to pick up isn't quite right, but it is at least consistent with the other things in the quest. So I can't, like, you know, he has taught me like 3 times already in the quest that you right click search. It's not. It's like I don't feel I can criticize it because I feel like it's completely coherent within its own design paradigm. And when Titan was making this content, there was no established design paradigm for RuneScape, right? Right-clicking on things was a thing you did constantly in RuneScape, so it made sense within the context of RuneScape. I don't think he was designing badly. I don't think it's coincidence that it's a manner of interacting with games which I don't. I think there's a reason the games industry has moved sharply away from this kind of thing. I mean, it had already moved sharply away from this kind of thing by 2003, but there's nothing wrong with Titan doing it the way that he did it, right? But I think that design paradigm has been one that people have found inconvenient. Yes, get in this barrel. Let's use the barrel on you. What are you doing? Oh God! God! Oh God! That's so bad! Like I know Anna in a barrel. That's like a legendary item in the game because obviously we had Mod Anna, and thus the concept of Anna in a barrel came up a lot. But yeah, I'd never seen that actual line of dialogue before. That's so bad. Did Mon Anna ever enter a barrel in her time at Jagex? Not that I'm aware of. Is she going to have escaped from her barrel? Am I going to have to run her down and squeeze her back into the barrel again? This quest really underestimates how easy it would be to leave a barrel. Yeah, yeah. You just climb out. Well, she seems to be squeezed quite tightly into the barrel, like the implication being that the opening of the barrel is very narrow. And we're going to have to find her now. Do I need to look in all these barrels to see if she's in them? Oh, no, hang on. Is that an extra barrel? I don't think that barrel was there before. Oh, no, apparently I was incorrect. She's not in any of these barrels. I'm only looking. Yeah, I'm looking in the barrel because if I want to know whether something's in a barrel, I look in the barrel. I don't need to search the barrel to find Anna in it. If I'd lost like a 2p piece, then I might want to get right in the barrel and have a good look around. But if there's an entire person in the barrel whose head is poking out, then I think looking is sufficient. That is my opinion. Okay. Now what am I doing? Okay, I'm guessing I have to winch her up here because there was a... This quest was reworked slightly in 2006. What did they change? There's been quite a few things where I was able to left click in order to interact with them. Look is useless, search is you actually want to interact with the object. Yeah, so I mean I think I would criticise that in the sense of like there's nothing wrong with multiple nouns. There's nothing wrong with multiple verbs, but those verbs should actually match the thing that you do. Guard notices the barrel. Oh god, which of these is not going to get me thrown in the punishment rocks? I'm looking it up. I'm not going in the goddamn punishment rocks again. The nearby guard will help you, okay? I don't think Anna is committed to this escape plan. Do I have to wear the slave outfit to get down here to mine necrite? Is that how it works? You don't need it post quest. Would the guards attack me if I come down here wearing anything? Investigate and take would be better for the barrel. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Or like, yeah, or I mean, yeah, it depends on the context, right? You might get a world first announcement if you mine a necrite ore. I'm doing it. I'm mining all necrite. I can't remember where I'm going. Oh, the winch. That's it. Okay, then we need to load her onto the cart, right? And then I need to somehow push the cart out of here. Okay. Good. Oh, yep, there we go. Yes, okay. 5th time I'm going to figure this out. I'm planning. It's so unintuitive. So I don't mean bad unintuitive, I just mean because I'm so accustomed to left clicking on things. Because it was during OMGE that I changed a whole lot of the locks in the game to be left clickable that weren't left clickable before. Or a lot of inventory objects as well didn't do anything when you left click them and now do. You know, like if I think this is true. Like when it used to be the case that you had to use a chisel on gem, and now you could just left click the gem and it will open the make X interface. Yes! Absolutely nailed it. I think having everything be left click would spoil some solutions. Right, now where are you going? You're going on the cart. I'm guessing that whatever the solution is, the way I get out of here, the desert heat will soon get to Anna. That's fine. It's a good explanation of why I need to not just wait. Like I need to do something specific. Right, yep. I'm guessing that I say shush. Incorrect. Having a cart be left click to put Anna on the cart wasn't needed. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like once you're in the, I talked about this at the time actually. I can't remember if I talked about it publicly or not. I definitely talked to developers about it. One of the iconic sort of baseline RPG interactions, which you can see manifested in different places in RuneScape, is if I left click on a door and I'm carrying the key, or let's say use, like, you know, in the RuneScape context it's left click, in say an FPS it's like press use button on door, and I'm carrying the key, does the key get used automatically? Or do I have to drag the key onto the door or use the key on the door in some way? And the you know, it's a trade-off there of a sort of immersive feel versus a fast-paced feel. And I think it just really depends on the type of game. So I really love they pretentiously call themselves immersive sims, but I think of them more as like FPS RPGs. Like you know, like New Vegas and Prey and System Shock and Deus Ex and that sort of thing, in which the kind of the emphasis of the game is on interacting slowly with the world and understanding the world and really experiencing the world, hence immersive sim. And in that sort of game, I think I would want a heavy emphasis on what I was doing. Like one of the satisfying things in that sort of game, in a futuristic one, is like typing the keys and typing the key code in on the keypad. So, but then of course, that doesn't work on a console, so no one bothers to implement that anymore, because on a console it would be really tedious to have to type the keys in on the keypad, but on a PC it's really satisfying because you can just use the numpad to do it. Prey did that in a really good way. So in some of that type of game nowadays, when you know the code, you just unlock the door automatically. In Prey, I think when you know the code, it displays the code in your interface when you walk up to the lock for that sorry, if you know the code for the lock, it shows you the code, but it doesn't enter it for you automatically, and you have to type it in yourself, which I think is a really good way of doing that. The original Deus Ex, by comparison, for example, you just had to, like, if you learned the code somewhere, you just had to remember it, and you had to remember what that code was for, work out what that code was for, and that, I would argue, crosses a line into you have to really care about this game or you're not going to bother. Seb said if you know it's the key, it should work. If it's not, you should have to use it. Yeah, and that's where the puzzle element comes in, right? If you don't know to combine those two objects. So I did Below Cursed Tides, Beneath Cursed Tides just before. And so Beneath Cursed Tides is modern, and in Beneath Cursed Tides you just left click on everything. So you could argue that in Beneath Cursed Tides, it feels more fetch questy because all you need to do is just click on every object in the environment over and over and over again until you eventually find the right if I just click every lock in the environment over and over and over again in a circle, I will eventually just solve the puzzle automatically. I never at any point need to understand what I'm doing because everything is used on everything else. I'm not saying that's the wrong way to do it, but that's the impact that has. This quest, by comparison, is the complete opposite, and you have to think about what you're doing and use objects on other objects, and it has a puzzle feel that Beneath Cursed Tides doesn't really have in the same way. Because if you don't sort of stop and think about, in theory you could brute force it, but it might simply never occur to you to right click or use an object on an object. I'm getting distracted. Dykick asked, is Jagex different now Osborne is gone? Yes. Oh, thank you, Dykick. Dykick has gifted subs. I don't understand how Twitch works. Is RuneScape different now Osborne is gone? Yes. It's yeah, it's weird not having him around. Osborne was my manager for quite a while and he was great. And his real strength was like he was such a so you guys saw him as like a kind of hype man externally, like he was really good at hyping on live streams and hyping at RuneFest in a different way to, but he was still really good at it. But he was also that hype man internally. Like he was also like he could be in a meeting with people and get everyone really excited and enthused and really excited for a plan, that was his it wasn't just like a PR facade, it was who he was all the time, and I miss that a lot. Because it's technically my job to do it now and I'm absolutely useless at it. I'm not a hype man at all. Yes, it's called charisma, yes, exactly. He's extremely charismatic. How many cups of coffee does he drink a day? I've got no idea, I'm afraid. I saw one of the item interactions of rocking out when the top spot in an article about the top 10 weirdest video game puzzles. Right, what am I doing here? I'm supposed to be doing this. Right, hang on, let's try again. Right, there's definitely some... What? I don't mind this kind of trial and error dialogue puzzle, but I do want it to make sense. I should be able to think about what I'm saying to him and navigate through the dialogue tree. It's okay that I have to pay attention to what I'm saying and kind of make up navigate it intelligently, but tell the Minecraft driver the following phrase. What? God, what? You have to say 10 specific things in order. Nice cart. So this is going to be the exact thing I complained about earlier, right? Where the conversation only makes sense in retrospect, but there's no way to know that this was how it was going to lead that way. Is that am I along the right lines there? One wagon wheel says to another, "I'll see you around." Oh, okay, he likes cart jokes. Sure. No shot, perhaps. What? This is an absolutely surreal conversation. What? Guess and check is a puzzle type sorter. A lot of people play puzzles like they guess and check. Yeah, you mean like trial, like just yeah, uh, trial and error, right? But like, what? Prison riot in 10 minutes. But I can like there's an interesting thing there about the way RuneScape quest works specifically, right? Separate from like designing for a single player game. Where no, I wonder where the driver is. Is he back at Shanty Palace? God knows. Where on earth could he be? Yeah, okay, apparently he is. Um, RuneScape has a specific thing that we never trap you, right? You can always just home tele out. And I think everyone just kind of understands that that's just a break. Like, the story says you're in prison, but you can home tele out. And everyone sort of understands that when they come back, they resume the quest. It's as if no time had passed. The NPCs don't say, "Where have you been for the last 3 weeks?" or whatever. You know, like everyone understands that. But within the internal logic of the quest itself, I was required to leave the camp. So they've established within the logic of the quest that I can just walk in and out of the camp. So within that context, there's nothing stopping Anna just walking out. Unless I missed something? I don't think I missed something of like, there's a reason, I guess. But I guess it's kind of established that I can't kill the guards. Have I left as a slave? Yeah, I just walked out wearing my slave outfit. Was that not supposed to happen? Was that a bug? I don't know. The general sort of. So is Anna here? Is that it? Is that? What? Oh, do I have the barrel? Right, okay. What? Okay, sure. Is this flat XP? I'm assuming it is. 4,000. What do I want? What do I want this in? I guess thieving. And agility. '57 archaeology. Yeah, I did. I started. When I started playing, I was like I literally I logged in to check something for an update for a design I was making. I needed to take a screenshot from game, so I logged into live to do it. And then I was like, you know what? While I'm here, I'll just do some archaeology. And then I was like, you know what? While I'm here, I'll do it on mobile. And then I started just leveling archaeology on mobile. And then I leveled archaeology to the point where my smithing was not high enough to smith the next tier of mattock. So then I was like, oh, I guess I better level up my my mining and smithing as well. And now here I am. Amaska was of the opinion that Anna was a criminal and they were tricking us. Yeah, that makes sense. She does have thieving. She does have thieving. Yeah, that's true. Oops. Oh, I didn't read that properly. Wait, did I just cancel that? Can you? You can't cancel quest completes, can you? They've happened. Oh well. I didn't read the. So which of these keys is important? She said she had... It's that one, the wrought iron key. So do I need to keep that on me? There's a key ring, right? I don't have the key ring. Right, so what goes in here? This is my bag of old quest items. Right, what we're doing. Deposit all. Nope, no. Oh, that needs to go in the metal bank. Can I deposit into the metal bank from here? Nope. God damn it. Alright, you can go in there for now. Right click them if you can put them on the key ring. Yeah, I don't have a key ring yet. I don't. Oh, hang on, sorry, I can't right click from there, can I? What am I doing? Oh, is the key ring on the tool belt now? No, I don't have a key ring. No, I need to do one small favour. Yeah, of course. Is the key ring itself is on the tool belt though, isn't it? I believe. Right, I don't need those. And I don't need those. But I do need that. And I'm guessing I probably don't need this many water skins. Right, let's go get some nechrite. It's very important. Don't ask me again. Yes! Ah, no! I unticked it! Is this prison camp sanctioned by Al-Qaeda? Is it a private prison complex? Will we tear it down and free the inmates? I mean, I feel like the next storyline is going to be entirely about that punishment rock guard, right? Like, that's the next big villain. It's got to be. It's a vendetta now. Like, I can't kill him in the game, so I'll kill him in the story. This gate needs a key. Wait, do I need the other... Oh, for God's sake, do I need the other key? Oh, God. And are they going to arrest me and put me in the cell as well if they see me with weaponry? They are, aren't they? So do I need 3 keys? I need to bring 3 keys with me. I don't know, I kind of love it, but, like, you know, if I wasn't streaming it, I'd be raging. It means I get another chance to tick the, So do I need to leave my gear behind? I'm not actually clear. I guess I probably should. I feel like the quest has taught me not to take gear into there. Wait, so which keys did I need? Because I've put them in... Right, so I probably don't need the cell door key because I'm not going to get arrested because I haven't got anything with me, right? That sounds like solid logic to me. Punishment Rock could be a good name for a troll. I can't get Stu to change it to Jailhouse Rock now because it's a thing now. Like, no one's ever cared about Punishment Rocks before today, right? This is like the all-time high of Punishment Rock. Since they were renamed, I'm assuming that this is not a thing that people mind very much. Okay, let's go. Let's get right. I don't have any, what's it called? Oh, I named the bloody thing. What's it called? The secondary for nechrite. No, not Draclith. Don't tell me I remember. Stupid brain. I originally called it like Ghost Rock, but then I think I changed it, and I can't remember what the new name is. Phasmatite, yes, that's it, of course. Yes, I changed the name to be more Runescape-y, because Ghost Rock is a reference to the tabletop RPG Deadlands. But I changed the name to be something that was more of a reference to RuneScape. And then forgot it. I was looking at places we could put some necrite rocks um, under the, the bones under the Black Knight's Fortress Bridge. That felt like a nice place to put some. That felt kind of thematic. I mean, like obviously those bones aren't that old, but the idea that was like an ancient Third Age graveyard is quite cute. But also they could be on the near side of the worldy wall. Like I couldn't see anywhere. Like I feel like if there's going to be necrite on the surface world, it ought to be near to Foreign 3. But there isn't an ideal place to put it. I felt like there's a little, just before like the hill up to the Black Knight's Fortress, there's a little area, like if you go to the Wildy Wall and go as far west as you can out of Edgeville, just before you climb up towards Black Knight's Fortress, there's a little tiny bit of an area there. It's a bit low level. Yeah, it is. Well, it's, I mean, a thematic level, right? I care about that more in the sense of I would want it. I don't think we should. I'm not honestly sure what the lore explanation for this necrite is, to be honest, but my preference would be that necrite is somewhere where there ought to have been death in the Third Age, you know? There's necrite at the Hopper mine, yes, that's right, yeah. I mean, I suggested, we never did it, but like, we could just scatter necrite rocks all over the wilderness. Like, thematically, there ought to be necrite rocks just all over the wilderness. What's my next quest? It is... Wait, have I got... No, I still can't do Hero's Quest. I still can't do Family Crest. I still can't do Temple of Ikov. Observatory. But if there's any, I'm going to play through them in order, but if there's a quest that people especially want... What time is it, actually? I shouldn't be late tonight. Yeah. That took, what, 2 hours to do Tourist Travel? 2 and a bit hours? More? Yeah. 2 hours. I need... How much necrite do I need? I need to upgrade my ore box. I need to make a mining pick. I need to make a mattock. Is that it? So I need 6? I think that's correct. Definitely to stream Dig Site. Oh, I have done Dig Site. I'm happy to stream Dig Site, but I don't have that much to say about it really. Like, I don't like Dig Site personally. But I've completed Dig Site recently enough to remember it. I think I completed it while archaeology was in dev. Again, like I've completed it before. In fact, I'm surprised I haven't done it on this account. I thought I had done it on this account. I'm happy with the... it's interesting seeing the impact of design decisions now. Things that worked kind of better than I thought they would. So when we put the strange rocks on in the metamorphic geodes, actually no, they're okay, right? The strange rocks are okay, but they're not. I was just thinking like for me right now in my development, those strange rocks are actually pretty cool. But metamorphic geodes are rare enough that they don't really add very much, do they? But I guess in principle, if you're kind of casually engaged and you're doing a lot of mining, which seems like something a lot of Iron Men and like prospective old school players and new players seem to do, they get quite absorbed into mining and smithing. Like whenever I watch anyone streaming or making YouTube videos of trying RS3, they always seem to get sucked straight into mining and smithing and then do that. Any reason I don't like Dig Site? Oh, it's just... yeah, there's not much happens, and I don't remember it encyclopedically, but I remember some of the logic being a bit sketchy. Like the things that you have to do are a bit like, why do I have to do that? Is that enough? That's probably enough. Or 10. Yeah, that'll do. Rockettunity. I taught my daughter the word rockettunity, and she was delighted. I don't think she doesn't know like pun portmanteaus. So that was like her first pun portmanteau, and she was absolutely delighted at the concept of like combining 2 words together to make a pun. She thought that was great. Right, where am I? Where do I get Phasmatite from? Is it in Mauritania? I'm assuming it is. Should be. I don't know Mauritania very well. Dwarven Mine Resource Dungeon. No. That'd be easy, wouldn't it? Let's go do that. That is just north of Falador, right? Wait, I get the Dwarven Mines modelled up. I think it's just north of Falador. Mining smithing rework, as so many people ask on OS. Yeah, like, well, that's why I've been talking about re-tiering recently, because I feel like people do like the new mechanics of mining and smithing for the most part. Some people have a problem with the smithing, which I think is fair enough. But I think the thing that people most focus on is the re-tiering. Seems to be the thing that people most love and care about, which is, from our point of view, was kind of like almost an indulgence. It wasn't something we needed to do, because most of our player base are much too high level to do that kind of stuff. But then, of course, someone starts playing an Iron Man, and they're like, oh, it's like for Iron Man, it has quite a lot of relevance, right? Because I can't just go and buy a maple longbow or whatever, short bow. Right, where am I going? Is there a resource dungeon around here? Is it over there? Don't actually know where the resource. I am in the Dwarven Mine, right? I go mad, yeah. There's a resource dungeon. It's not that one, that's the Mining Guild resource dungeon, right? Dwarven Mine resource dungeon, there it is. That feels like, it kind of feels like cheating. I was talking to a colleague today and he was like, oh, we should just put an Eckrite in a resource dungeon. We should put all the rocks in a resource dungeon. I don't know, like that feels to me like overly simplistic. Maybe not, I don't know. It's not, like, one of the things I was concentrating on with mining and smithing... Wait, am I going the right way? Wait, I've got, oh, there must be that one. One of the things I was concentrating on with mining and smithing was I felt like divination was over-tiered, if that makes sense. Well, not tiered, but like over-consistent. Like, every level of divination feels exactly the same. And one of the things I really wanted to focus on with mining and smithing was making sure that the different tiers felt different. Not radically different, it's still mining and smithing, but just a little bit different. Which is why they're inconsistent in their XP rates and stuff like that. Do I need to do something? Yeah. Never been in here. You need to complete Hard Demon Hunt, god damn it! It does say that on the wiki, and I didn't pay attention. It does say Demon High Mora 3. Alright, where else can I go? Port Phasmatis. Okay, let's go to Port Phasmatis. Yeah, Div feels samey because it's very consistent. And like basically if you've done by the time you finished the second area, the second colony, they're called colonies, aren't they? You do colony 1, okay, cool. That's how that worked. You go to colony 2, you're like, oh, that's exactly the same. You go to colony 3, oh, it's exactly the same. So by that point you would then expect, oh, I've seen the entire skill now. And mining is just inconsistent enough to kind of keep you guessing. So players report to me like, did you realise that it's like better XP to stay on the previous tier? For Iron Men, it's actually better XP to stay on the previous tier than move up to the next tier. And I'm like, yes, that's like, that inconsistency is intentional because you kind of never know what's going to happen. I'm going over here, right? Yeah. Is that down here? Yeah. If you always move to the next tier exactly immediately, and it's always correct to do that. If you'd expect each new tier to be better XP, better money, better everything. And if that's always true, then there's nothing to really think about, and you don't get to ask the question like, should I go to the next tier? Should I stay here? Now, I do not know Mauritania well at all, so God knows what I'm gonna do horribly wrong. There'll be something where if you don't walk correctly, then you just die. If one tier was unstable and had super erratic wisps, and another tier was harmonious and required to swap between wisps. Yeah, exactly. If each tier of divination felt a little bit different, and you might like the ideal. I'd say the ideal, an ideal, I think, is that like the player is like, oh, you know what? I don't really like this new tier. I think I'm going to stay at the old tier for a little bit. Which could, like, I mean, I'm going out here to find some Necrite, right? And Necrite and Phasmatite are quite inconvenient to get to compared to Orichalcum and Draclith, which are trivial to get to because they're right outside the outside workshop. So I could just keep smithing all the way to 80 on Draclith. I could choose to do that. There would be it would be conceptually speaking, it would be, even though it would take longer, it would be way less effort to do it that way, because I could just do that AFK on my phone and not worry about it, and therefore I could level all the way to 80, and that's quite interesting. It's interesting that it's you know, inconsistent, and you can put some and choose the strategy that works best for you. I never found an old tier to be better XP rates. Apparently, I was told one of them is better for Iron Men. I can't remember why, but there was some specific case where Iron Men were better off not moving up a tier for like 10 levels or something like that. Why am I moving between rocks? I don't actually know. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, okay, so if I fill my inventory, I'll have an even amount of both. I think it might be staying at Bane instead of Elder Rune. Yeah, sorry, I don't remember the specific case, but I remember people saying, like, this is weird. And there are some cases where, like, because you build up bonuses over your 10 levels for all that you're mining, it's often the case that actually the previous tier is better XP. I have the XP graph somewhere. Like, that was the thing I focused on during the development a lot, was the XP graph. That every time I changed the mechanics, I had a spreadsheet and it would update them. The graph, and as long as the graph was kind of spiky, that was good. If the graph was like a smooth curve upwards, or you know, jumped up with each new rock, that was bad. But if the graph kind of spiked up and down in a weird way, then that was good, because it meant that there were weird inefficiencies to pay attention to. Like, you know, if I have plus 10% crit rating on Rune or something, maybe Orichalcum isn't actually better for 3 levels yet. Until I unlock the crit bonus for Orichalcum, it's not actually better. The desert site is the coolest lore implication to McKen's remains. Yeah, that was Stu. Stu added that, yeah. He was like, where can I put that? And I said, well, there could be one in the desert. And then he actually made it like a whole thing, which is really cool. I remember, was it when Anachronia launched and everyone was like, why is there dark Animika here? What? Why is there light Animika here? What? And we were like, yeah, it's fine, there's an explanation, don't worry. Oh no, the metamorphic geode is used up. Oh, that's fine, because I can put it in my ore box. That's why I brought the ore box. Oh no, I can't, because it's not an Orichalcum ore box. It's not an Necronium ore box. God damn it. I guess I could drop a water skin. Oh, or I could open my igneous geodes and hope that 2 of the objects inside stack. I'm glad you like stone spirits, Scouser. Someone's lazy about upgrading the robot. I'm not lazy about it. I'm literally coming to get the materials to do it. That's why I'm out here. Yeah, the people that don't like stone spirits are the people that don't want to get a low value drop from the drop table, which is fine. I can understand that. It's fair enough. Someone doesn't want that, but it is what it is, right? It's always a trade-off. Okay, fine. I'll just end up with one more blooming necrite than Phasmatite. It's fine. Oh, rock opportunities are good. Yeah, there we go. Right. Let's go to Birth Up. Yeah, I prefer to DIY. Like, I don't want to pay an Iron Man because I don't want to get stuck. It's kind of like the analogy I would use is I play games with the option to cheat if I need to. So when like you know, something like Skyrim, you know, you can use console commands to cheat. So if I am not enjoying my game experience, I can selectively use cheats. For example, in the Elder Scrolls games, I always increase my carry weight because I enjoy the game more that way, and I don't care about what the game designers think is the correct way to play the game. I play it the way I want to play. Where do I put those keys? I feel like everyone's discouraging me from ever going back to that mine, so maybe I don't need to worry about it. I'm actually struggling with my strange rocks at the moment. Ah, it's an agility one, yes. What's that? Oh, a good was 2 token, yeah. God, where do I bank that? I'm just going there for now. And where's my rock bag? There it is. How am I doing? How am I doing, rock bag? Not brilliantly. I've done loads of fletching and only had 1 rock. I say loads of fletching, but like I leveled fletching 240 using short bows. And only got 1 strange rock in that entire time, which surprises me. I would have thought I would have got more strange rocks by now. I don't know what the drop rate on strange rocks in fletching is, but it doesn't seem to be very high. I've barely done any farming at all. And I specifically went to the training course to try to get the agility rock and didn't get it until I was very bored, so I left again. Interesting. You can go back. And right, what do I need? I need my... Can I remove my thing from the tool belt to upgrade it? I can't remember. Oh wait, no, you don't upgrade it, do you? You make a new one. I'm getting confused. The ore box. Oh god, now what we've done. The ore box has to be upgraded, but the pickaxe doesn't. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. And I can't make a new hatchet. And I can make a new mattock. Yeah, right, let's go. Yeah. I think the like 0.0% respect isn't worth walking to the Artisan's Workshop for it. Some activities just don't give strange rocks for no reason. You can. Oh, I can add the anima crystal to my currency pouch. All right, okay. Right, Necronium bar. Yeah, let's go. Oh yeah. I've got a full set of Orichalcum ready to wear as soon as my defense hits 60, which might happen one day. Until last month, almost no fletching method gave strange rocks. Oh, is that a recent fix? So hard to keep track of all this. What's that? Is this the most convenient smithing location in your opinion, and should it be? That's an interesting question. I don't know if it's the most convenient one. I noticed that the... Oh crap, where was it? It was down here in Yanil. This one doesn't have a furnace, I think. Is that correct? That anvil doesn't have a furnace. No, sorry, yes, it doesn't. It has a forge, but not a furnace. I wanted to rename them. I wanted to rename smelters to furnaces, but we felt like, because that is not a furnace, that is a smelter, and that is a furnace. But I felt like maybe that would be too confusing to rename the objects. I think maybe in retrospect, probably we could have made that change. Sorry, I'm rambling. I don't know what the closest forge to a bank is, and the closest forge to a lodestone is. This is the one I use because I know where it is. The one in Lumbridge is reasonably convenient as well. I think the one in Lumbridge is about the same as this. I'm just accustomed to using Berthorpe as my hub because I think most people probably are. My opinion, I think personally, is I think Lumbridge should be the hub rather than Berthorpe. I disagree with the various decisions that have been made over the years to focus more and more of the game on Berthorpe. I don't think it's a very iconic RuneScape location, and I think with the various reworks and tutorialization, actually Berthorpe has lost. And I know I was a major part of some of those projects, so I'm not blaming anyone in particular for it. But in the rework, Berthorpe lost the characterization it had. Berthorpe, you know. Wait, I haven't gone back and checked old school, right? But Berthorpe before the OMGE had this kind of military camp feel, and although there is that military camp over here, it doesn't have that sort of guards training sort of feel that it had before, despite the various narrative elements. It doesn't feel like the old Berthorpe was basically just a camp with soldiers training in it, right? Like drill, and although there is an element of that still here, I feel like it's not, obviously, it's ended up with this sort of stuff in it which isn't very immersive, and this isn't very immersive, and the various skilling tutors and stuff just kind of, like, Stu did his best. So, Stu made this recent rework where he split these things up, and I think he did a really good job, and it felt very artificial before, and he's done a lot to kind of break, but he was limited in what he could do, right? He was just rearranging the things that were there. Sorry, what am I saying? It's fine that Berthorpe is like this. it's a shame that Berthop lost its identity, but whatever, it's a useful area. Berthop was kind of useless before, right? And it's a useful place to... It serves a function within the game now, which is great. But I think Lumbridge should be the low-level hub. I think that's fairly important. And it's a shame that Berthorpe is the low-level hub. It doesn't really... It's not RuneScape, right? That would be my take. The old Challenge Master's in Gower Quest, isn't he? Right, what am I doing? I'm supposed to actually be making something, aren't I? I'm wandering around and getting distracted. I do not think I have time to do another quest now, though. So I will finish what I'm doing. And if there's something very quick I can do, like some random daily or something, I can do that. Right, Necronium, what am I doing? Necronium ore box. Ooh, very excitingly. Oh, I started from the anvil like a noob. There's another little weird micro thing, right? Until you unlock the heat, until you unlock the bonus that gives you full heat on starting, you're better off starting from the forge. But then when you have unlocked the full heat on starting, you're better off starting from the anvil. Which is like a micro optimization if you're paying attention, which makes it more interesting. So you effectively, what that upgrade does is effectively unlock the ability to save you one click if you take advantage of it, which is, I think, a good fit for RuneScape. That feels like the kind of upgrade that feels very RuneScape to me. It's not like, like compared to like 5% faster progress or something. I feel like that's a really good, like, it doesn't make the game more confusing. Does that make sense? Am I? Does anyone disagree with that? Like, my take would be that the complexity of the game has not increased, but the opportunity to optimize has increased. Is that fair, or am I just? I might be too close to it to actually make that judgment. Missed the Berthorpe versus Falador subplot. Yeah, me too. I don't think that just because Lumbridge was a starter tone long ago means we should be ever frozen in that state. Yes, I agree, but at the same time, there's no particular reason to like redesignate. So I've told you the story. I think Stu said it in this tutorial, right? The reason that Berthorpe is the starter zone now is convoluted because the project was commissioned. The reason it was called OMGE, which stood for Opening Members Game Experience, was that when you subscribe to RuneScape, nothing really changes. Like, there's no you're a relatively low-level player. You subscribe to the game, and then you hang around in the free area, completing free quests and leveling free skills, and the game doesn't really change. And they wanted a more obvious route into some of the more obtuse, because things like Hunter and Summoning are very esoteric and didn't really lend themselves well to like brand new players. You don't want to just jump straight into Summoning if you like subscribe on day 2. So they wanted a place where when I subscribe I can go there and sort of be taught about the members game and how the members game is good. And then the decision, like as after that project was commissioned, the decision was then made to I did it wrong again, look at that. The decision was then made to give all players free trial. All new players would get free membership trial for like a week or a month or something. I can't remember how long it was. So now the zone had to serve as a tutorial for old players, and the entire project got completely derailed because now we had to suddenly rework it into a tutorial for the entire game, which is a vastly larger ask, like, and way more complicated. And suddenly we had to introduce every skill, and we were like, can we maybe not introduce every skill? And they were like, no, we have to introduce every skill. Players have to understand the massive breadth of content that they're getting. So yeah, a series of very strange decisions. I think smithing's a bit AFK compared to mining. I'm not sure why I feel that way. They probably have comparable activity times. Smithing doesn't have rock opportunities, which I think is a big deal. Like, smithing effectively has a stamina bar that works in a slightly different way. I think smithing is inferior. I try to keep it thematic, but I think at a base mechanical level it's inferior. There's two aspects to this. I've been thinking about it a lot, because I think it affects the way we do skill design. So now it might be because of my attention span, right? I have an extremely short attention span. So to me, this click, wait, click back again. The wait was slightly too long. I had to pay attention for a length of time there that was slightly uncomfortable to me. This is similar with divination, right? Divination, you click on a wisp, you wait for a while, then you click on the well, and you wait for a much shorter amount of time. And both the disparity between those periods of time and the length and the short length of the well are both quite displeasing. Oh god damn it. So, like, I think, like, so the way that the way that Rocketunities work, or so the time sprite has its own problems, but set that aside. When you click on something, if I click on something, I want to click. So you could imagine, like, you know, imagine if heating the object also made progress. But imagine if heating it back up again took basically as long. Like, they were basically two equal modes, right? And heating gave progress, and hammering gave progress, and you basically spent equal time on both. And then basically it got gradually slower and slower and slower, but then the more and more you heat it up, the slower it gets. Like, if it's already at full heat and you're heating it up, you get very slow progress, right? So then basically, whenever you start paying attention to the game again, you want to click. Like, you just click. Like, you know, if you notice your heat is quite low, you click the forge. If you notice your heat is quite high, you click the anvil. Something like that. That's closer to how mining works, in the sense that it's always worth clicking. Like, if you're AFKing and you tab back into the game and you see the Rocketунity, you always immediately click it, and you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to think. You don't have to, like, wait and then click back on the rock you were on before, anything like that. A lot of mechanics like that, like Bird's Nest, for example, have that sort of like this heating does. You click and then you wait a little bit and then you click back on the thing you were doing before, which to me I don't think is a very pleasing interaction. I like occasional clicks rather than tick manipulation. I've been appreciating playing on mobile, so I put the the mechanic where you get 10% bonus if you are at 100% stamina when mining, and you can just repeat. You can click every 2 ticks in order to stay at full stamina. I put that in. I don't want to say as a joke, because that's not really what I mean. But, like, I didn't think that was actually a serious option. Mod Shogun said that he wanted something like that, so we put it in. We're like, okay, sure, here you go. Like, this is a really simple implement. Like, given the mechanics that we have, it would be extremely simple for us to implement that. So why not? But I didn't expect anyone to actually take it seriously as a mechanic. And while I've been on my phone, mining on my phone, actually I found that great. It's really satisfying to, like, just tap every 2 seconds. You know, if I'm just, like, actively engaging with my phone for a little bit because I'm putting it down and picking it up, putting it down and chatting to someone else and picking it up again, it's quite nice to be able to just tap and have it contribute a tiny amount to my progress and not be completely meaningless. Right, what am I doing? Right. Ore box. Oh, pickaxe needs to go on my tool belt. That'll speed up my gem rock mining. Where does this go? I can't remember. Where do I put my orichalcum pickaxe? Probably in here, I would think. My old pickaxe is in here? Don't remember. And my mattock goes here. I should rearrange my soil, shouldn't I? Because I've been playing a lot on mobile, and rearranging your bank is not fun on mobile, so I haven't rearranged my bank very much, but it's fine. Is there anything else that's in the wrong place there? I'm using this. This is my archaeology tab, but I'm also using it as my mining tab. Because it doesn't feel like I need a mining tab, really, and that's my artifacts tab. And that's my any clothing that isn't one of the 3 styles tab. Oh, that's where the old pickaxes are. What are they doing in there? Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense, actually. Stick that in. Oh god, what have I done? Wizard wand? Why is that in there? That should be in the magic tab. Anything else in there that should be in the magic tab? Oh, I've got this random. I don't know where I got these. There was some sort of box or something, some promotion when I logged in that like gave me just a random lucky offhand chaotic crossbow. I wasn't intending to use it. I don't know if you're familiar with tick manipulation on old school, but that's insanity. Sorry, I may not be understanding what you mean. Do you mean like slotting an activity that doesn't lock out another activity so you do both within the same tick? Like tick eating, is that the kind of thing you mean? Or just the sheer like sweaty mega clicking? Mm, I don't. I may know what you mean, but I don't know. I'm not confident that I do. Tick manipulation. Let me look it up. The performing actions quickly enough within a tick, players can interrupt animations to optimize scaling combat. Oh yeah, we have some of this stuff in EOC, right? Like prayer flicking, because you flick it on and off within a tick. Yeah, tick eating. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, tick eating and that sort of thing. Yeah, that's what I was assuming. 3-tick trap. Yeah, and so it's interesting because this is a lot of the stuff that players complained about leaving when we added Make X. A lot of people swore to me that like Make X was destroying RuneScape because without, you know, having to reposition my like the precise position of objects within my inventory so that I could rapidly left click and right click on them in order to combine them together as efficiently as possible was the skill of the game. And I can't really debate that. Like, I mean, they're right in an objective sense, right? It is a skill and it is something that makes you better at the game. But at the same time, it's like it's so wildly hostile, right? It's raised the skill ceiling to an unreasonable degree. I'm fine with old school still having it. I don't mind that. It's fine. I don't think it's the right style of design for RS3. Right, what time is it? Yeah, it's bedtime. I should get to bed. Oh, is there anything? Let's have a quick look at the activities list. I've written down on my feedback list that I feel like, given that I don't have access to Prif, this should probably not show as uncompleted. There wasn't anything here I particularly wanted to do. Oh, can I go back and talk to Meg? No, not till next week. That's confusingly... I guess it's telling me my ports are ready because I haven't sent any voyages, but I can't do voyages, so... yeah, it's a bit confusing. But I feel like what I want this to tell me is whether or not Meg is ready. Don't forget to fight my daily demon invasion. I did do one, and I think I got 1 chaos die, but there's not really any reason to do more of them. Not at this level. No, I don't think there's anything. I think anything else would be too complicated and time consuming. Right. Okay. Oh. No, I should open my boxes. What have I got? Spirit Onyxes. Ooh, Approaching pack. Small star. A small vamp. A small cash bag. I am augmenting those, I think. I've been popping my bonus. Sorry, so I'm trying casually. I'm not hardcoring it, but I'm trying casually to unlock invention, and I like crafting less than I like leveling crafting less than I like leveling divination. So I've been putting my bonus XP into crafting, but I have not that much of it. Kind of prismatic. tries to unlock invention. It's such a carrot on a stick. Yeah, I'm really torn on it because it like it fits my game goals. My game goals are to understand as much of the game as possible, as quickly as possible, right? And in that regard, I ought to be understanding invention, and therefore, I mean, you know, I did a bunch of invention when it launched and using a mod account, but like, I don't have a great handle on where it sits within a sort of mid-level meta and the sort of decisions that it forces you to make and think about. So I do think it's quite important for me to unlock invention from that perspective. It also is just of the goals in the game which I could achieve. It's very prominently displayed, right? Like, I've been sucked into leveling my skills. I'm enjoying leveling my skills. I'm enjoying making progress on them. Invention is sitting here prominently telling me I need to do these things to unlock it. Prif appears nowhere anywhere in the game interface. What's some other goals I could be going for? Like Bladed Dive. I know about Bladed Dive, so I went to Shattered Worlds. But there's nothing in the game telling me that Bladed Dive is an objective I could work towards. I mean, I can't work towards Bladed Dive, but you know what I mean. What else is It's not a mid-level meta at all. No, what I mean is, like, I don't have a good handle on how invention interacts with the mid-game. Like, I kind of understand a bit how high-level players grind invention in particularly efficient ways to get access to end-game perks. But invention is not just that, or at least it was intended to not just be that. It wasn't intended to only be an endgame grind. It was intended to be a skill that you level and think about, and a lot of those elements were removed. But I feel like I want to kind of understand it at a non-efficient level. Anachronia, yeah, Anachronia and ports would definitely be things to work towards, yeah. Prif, Anachronia, yeah. None of which are kind of like prominently displayed to me as a goal in the way that this is. It feels like you know when in the Sims, is it 2? Sims 2? I think it's the Sims 2. You create a sim and you choose like a life goal for them, like an aspiration. I want to become an astronaut or whatever. And it feels like I would what am I trying to say? Like, we have a number of those long-term goals in the game, and it feels like kind of like we could offer the player a choice of those. Like, I want to, here are 4 things you could do. I want to become an inventor. I want to rediscover the lost sea of the elves. I want to sail to a new land. I want to run a trading company out of Port Sarim or whatever. Like, and we could present those. I guess Anachronia and ports are kind of thematically similar. No, I want to discover an island full of dinosaurs or something like that. Like, I want to discover a new land no one's ever been to before. And like, and then the path system could be based around those fairly specific goals. Because the previous version of the path system was kind of, I want to do combat, I want to do quests. It could be more like, oh, well, if you want to sail to a cool island full of dinosaurs, you're going to have to do this and this and this. Actually, unlocking Anachronia doesn't require very much, does it? Does it require anything? I don't actually remember. It doesn't say on the wiki there's any actual requirements, but you can't do anything useful when you get there, right? Can I? Oh, I should go to bed. But I could go to Anachronia instead. That sounds better. Let's go to the dig site. Oh, yes, hang on, I have a fast teleport for that. So I did wander around Anachronia quite a lot while it was in development, but I haven't wandered around it in live. No, wait, that's the wrong one. This one. Boom. I feel like the part. Sorry, I'm not saying we're actually going to make this system. I'm just sort of idly imagining how such a thing could work. I feel like sorry, what am I trying to say? Sorry, my brain's gone blank. The part, if there was such a path with kind of a long-term, I want to be an astronaut kind of goal, it would need to be something that you need to work towards. So I guess the long-term goal in this case would be I want to kill a dinosaur, or I want to like do Big Game Hunter or something like that. I feel like Anachronia isn't set up as a long-term goal that you work towards in the same way that I mean, it's intentional, right? But I'm not saying the game needs more long-term things like that. But yeah, I guess certainly we could get more value out of them. I guess maybe something like the Master Quest Cape or something could be more appropriate. There's the Stormbreakers up there. Played my Iron Man in strict timeline. So I postponed Invention Archaeology until 6 age. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm not trying to be strict about it. I'm just, hey, buddy. Let's go, Lenny, okay? I'm sorry, I don't think we've met. That deep King Roldlaw. She doesn't seem dressed for an adventure in the northern climate that we're heading to. I don't think she's adequately prepared.
The dragon told me the voyage would be treacherous, but I've never seen a storm like this one.
Dialogue.
The sea is primordial.
I'm very pleased with it.
It is ancient and vast, like a thing from another time. The sky is angry. I can feel it. If not for the Stormbreaker's powerful magical wards, we would be torn apart. From the deck, I hear the island calling to me. Turn back. Turn back. I do not want to be found. I should not be found. Turn back.
Yeah, they did a really good job on that lightning thing.
This
it's really
must
cool.
truly be the very end of the world. Cut off from everything.
Oh, someone annoyed me. They posted on Reddit like, was it Reddit? I think it was Reddit. Like they were saying like, oh, Jagex can't even be bothered to do like animated, like they're 2D cutscenes, but they can't even be bothered to animate them.
I think the storm is finally
Oh
breaking.
no, it was a YouTube video, and it annoyed me because I'm like, yes, we can do that. Like actually, one of our graphics artists has done that. He's done some like mock-up versions of showing what he could achieve, with slight animations, doing it in just a video editor. But we just don't have the engine. I try and get it prioritized, but obviously the problem is the people that add that sort of feature are also the people that deal with like security issues and login issues and high scores and basically every feature that anyone wants for any purpose is developed by the same people. So it's hard to get something like cutscenes prioritized over like players can't log into the game or players' accounts are, need to be made more secure or something like that. But yeah, the main thing I would like is I'd like the cutscenes to be done entirely outside of the engine so that they can be done more rigorously by a video editor. But it also means that we can use them as like marketing assets, which we don't currently do because they're in game effectively. We don't release those cutscenes on YouTube or anything. I'd like us to be a bit more integrated in sort of. The way I see it is that the intro cutscene for a piece of content is the trailer effectively, right? That's why I always show them in the live streams and stuff. I'm like, oh, if we show them... Like, there wasn't a plan to show those cutscenes in the Saturday live stream, and I was like, oh, could we just show the cutscenes? And they, ripped them and played them, which is great. Do you think you saw us? That's what I remember. I sent them a message like, oh my god, I can't believe you put that in. That's so good. It's such an obvious joke, but I love that they did it. It didn't it made me laugh because I wasn't expecting it, and then I was like, that's such an obvious thing to have done, and I'm delighted that I forgot. Coolest payout for Fossil Island. Yeah, it started. I told the story, right? It started as a joke. It was like we were coming up with explanations for Dinosaur Island. There was an island full of dinosaurs, and we were coming up with more explanations for it. And I was like, what if someone brought back Fossil Island from before it was Fossil Island, when the dinosaurs on it were still alive. Wouldn't that be cool? And then that ended up being the story we went with. Which quest NPCs when we had a party followed you like these two? Yes, me too. That was the original plan, and it ended up not happening. But that was the idea. Yes, it was going to. It planned to happen in Extinction, and it ended up getting cut. And it was planned to happen in Desperate Times, and it ended up getting cut. I think it tends to be quite buggy. I think. So these guys don't do very much, right? They follow you, but they don't. As I recall, they don't actually do anything, do they? They just follow. And having the NPCs actually do things like fight is significantly harder and very like creates a lot of bugs. So it's not just hard to implement, it's like adds a huge cost to the project and gets cut because, like, you know, this feature is costing us like an entire third of the quest or something is being taken up by just this feature of having the NPC follow you, something like that. I mean, I may be mistaken, but I think that's true. Can you cheat and swap them out fighting NPCs? I mean, I think that's what this does, doesn't it? Like when you get to a certain point, don't they get swapped out to be static NPCs, I think? After this stage, I think? Is that what happens? So yes, in principle, I think it's something where we need to build like a robust system that makes it work. If we have a robust system where the devs can just plug into it rather than having to kind of hack it together, we'd have to prioritize that though, and that's, you know, and then you want to justify it, right? Because you'd want it to be like, well, if NPCs are going to follow me a lot, because that was part of the original design pitch for the, I'd forgotten this actually, like for Desperate Times, the Desperate Times storyline was going to be the discussion that we had was around the tone of the game, what's silly, what's serious, is the player silly, is the plot silly. What we ended up settling on was that the correct way to do RuneScape tone was to have the plot be serious and the player be serious, but then comedy NPCs would come with you and sort of be the comedy sidekick, and they would be the silly ones to inject that humour that was needed to stop it from all being incredibly crapsack. So the idea was going to be that NPCs were going to come with you, and that was the point of it, but it ended up just not working at a technical level. But so assuming that we did have NPCs coming with you, essentially if we reimagined RuneScape questing as like a party experience, effectively, so you generally have NPCs with you, you'd want them to do something. You'd want consistent mechanics, right? Maybe you can upgrade them or equip them, and you'd want them to fight in combat. Maybe you'd want some control over them so they don't just run around doing stupid stuff. And at that point, suddenly that's a very, not only is that a very elaborate system, and it's not bad for that reason, maybe it's worth it, but it's arguably doesn't feel like RuneScape at that point. It's something more like Dragon Age, right? It's kind of reinventing RuneScape to be Dragon Age. Do we want RuneScape to be Dragon Age? Maybe not. So yeah, it has bigger design implications than it sounds. It's a big scary Jadinko. They were Jadinkos at one point in development, and then they were like, that was one of the possible lore explanations, was just they're just giant Jadinkos. But then my argument was Jadinkos don't have bones. So if they don't have bones, it can't be Fossil Island. Twilight Act 1 party felt like the most natural party. Yeah, they kind of come with you, right, and then hang around nearby, and then you teleport to the next one. I think that's what we ended up doing with most of them. Yeah, the art team brief with these dinosaurs was like, we want to implement dinosaurs, but we don't want them to be... I mean, here's an interesting question. I'm not sure I have a strong opinion on this, but it's an interesting question of, like, to what extent this is high fantasy. Like, how high fantasy are dinosaurs, and how high fantasy are, like, ludicrous tropical dinosaurs, which is what this is intended to be, you know? Like, what the art team were aiming for was, like, dinosaurs, but with a unique RuneScape twist to them, which I think is fair. I think they did that. I think like, given that was their objective, I think they accomplished that objective, because they're obviously dinosaurs, but they do have a unique look. A bunch of the marketing guys go see Jurassic World. No, this was before Jurassic World, I think, wasn't it? Like, am I misremembering the timeline? I don't know if you thought of Nerissa and Greg as a party. Yes, we did. Yeah, that was the intention, was that they would come with you for that part of the quest, basically. I hope Anachronia doesn't get killed via offhanded comment in some other content. Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, imagine like Beneath Cursed Tides, but for Anachronia, right? And it's just like you're exploring this frozen wasteland full of dead and dying dinosaurs. That'd be pretty awesome. First Jurassic World was 2015. I don't know. I think I first saw it on like Netflix like 3 years ago or something like that. Hey, Owenson. It didn't feel like checking a box while obviously doing so. Oh, that's good. That's reassuring. Hey, buddy. No, I've never actually set up a base camp in live. When I set up a base camp, it was still in dev, and you kind of interacted with it through like a placeholder. So I've not actually interacted with it in live. Sure, let's do that. I'm glad you asked me for permission. How did this guy get here anyway? Okay, so oh yeah, I did this bit, yeah. Can I assign the rest now? Should I assign the rest now? It's likely to be a while till I remember to interact with this again. Or do I need my other workers to do something else? No, I should get them to do more wood. Was it wood, vines and stone? Specific resources for the lodestone. Stone and clay. Is that good? Seems good. Build the lodestone before I leave. Can I? Because I go and I'd gather them myself. Wait, doesn't the lodestone require the town hall though? Oh, right, we get the town hall straight away. Yeah, I assumed I was going to have to come back tomorrow to build the town hall because I'm done. And I forgot how it works, and this way makes a lot more sense. So, well, I hope all my dailies have ticked down. $250 wood, $250 stone. Right, yeah, I definitely do want the lodestone. No, it's definitely too late to try Herbie Werby right now. I actually haven't played Herbie Werby. I didn't even play in dev. Where do I talk to that man? Hey, Sharigan. So I need to put a lodestone. I need clay. Can I just gather that? This wasn't a thing you could do when I last interacted with this. You couldn't gather. You had to wait, unless I'm misremembering. I think they hadn't implemented that. Can I get Nathan? Your advice is terrible. What? Don't build the lodestone. Should assing the workers. Should I assign them all to clay? Boom. 300 per hour. When do they take over? Oh, they take every 10 minutes, don't they? Well, I don't. Okay, well, I need to go to bed, so I'm just going to leave it, I think. So I'll upload to next morning, right? I might as well log out here, and then I can just build it tomorrow morning. In which case, I think suffering builds memorable events. Yes, that's true. But as I mentioned earlier, with like playing Skyrim, I know. Oh yeah, I never finished that story. Right? Like so, like I cheat when I need to. So the equivalent in this case, so in Skyrim, that would be using console commands. The equivalent in RuneScape would be like I prefer to DIY. That's how I don't want to play economically. I would prefer to DIY. But if there's something that's particularly nightmarish for Iron Man, I will go and buy it. I'm not going to torture myself. What else am I likely to need in the near future? Where should I? That says I don't need to put everyone on clay if I'm going to bed. Is there anything else that I can use? Ah, yeah. Okay, so it looks like I may as well just do them evenly for now, and then I can worry about it later. Oh. Stone, wood. Yes, perfect. Right, that'll do. Okay, yeah. So I guess I'll just log out here and build my lodestone tomorrow. All right. I'm gonna stop there. Good night, everybody.